Welcome back. This is Unrendered on IkTv. We are now channel 112 on the new Flow network, but IkTv is still all about you. On this edition, like I said, on Unrendered, we have the leader of the Democratic Republican Party, Miss Anesia Baptiste. Anesia, welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure to have you again.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So
tell me, the last time we spoke was some time ago. I think matter of months, if not a year. It's been a while,
yes.
Right. And I know I'm hearing bits and pieces about what the DRP is doing, but let me give you an opportunity to tell me, what have you been up to?
Okay, so since the last time we spoke, we have increased our candidate membership in terms of our candidate team. It's growing. We now have 3 persons on the ground working in 3 different constituencies, including West St. George, where I am working, West St. George, East Kingston, and South Leeward. We're not yet ready to announce formally who they are. However, the persons who are interacting with them would know.
But we know you are working in West St. George.
I am.
Am I correct in saying that that is the constituency that you are in?
Yes, it is. Yes, you are correct in saying that. And we are talking with others as well, you know, meeting with persons, screening them to determine where they go and if they are fit to serve as Democratic Republican candidates in the next upcoming elections.
Are people knocking on the door to become candidates?
You
have a rush
I wouldn't say knocking
forward?
Down. However, what we have is a request from the constituents in the various constituencies asking me, who are you running in my area? I want to vote for you. So they're actually looking for that alternative that we represent, and it is a matter of finding the appropriate persons for them. The benefit of talking with the people as well is that they themselves recommend to you whom they think could make a good candidate, and I think that is a very important aspect of candidate selection for a new party, because you want persons who not only with whom you are comfortable as a leader, but also who could really represent the people's interests. And usually it's good when you can hear that coming from the belly of the people, as it were. I think this person will make a good person because he's community oriented, because she works hard, because she can talk to people across the divide. So we've been getting that kind of feedback from persons and following up as a result.
To do with the national appeal, but of course we know politics and country representation has more. Okay, all politics is local, but beyond local, when you actually get into government, you have to deal with the regional and international issues. And not always a person that appeals to the national or has national appeal is suitable to be in governance in a general sense.
Well, I hear your concern, but I would like to say that I think the emphasis has to be on local representation, because at the end of the day, the area representative is a representative of the people of his or her constituency.
Yes, I agree.
And training and development personally and as a team and as a government should be ongoing. So in my book, even if a person may not come into the game having what you may refer to as that national or regional appeal, if he or she fits, you know, for his or her constituency, serving the people there, I believe that with training and the relevant personal development, they can do the job that they need to do on a national and regional level as well, So I think with the two, it's very important, because you don't want at the same time somebody who, I don't know, maybe they have a PhD, they've traveled a lot, they know how to speak to foreign governments, but they're never there for the people. This is what the people are talking about a lot. You know, we want people precisely. So you sort of want to, you know, but I think if you, as a leader, if my emphasis is on the people, that's one of our watch phrases, people's participatory power, PPP, people's participatory power, and listening to them and hearing who they know can help them and work for them. I think at the end of the day, that person can make a good representative nationally and regionally as well.
So tell me, you've also been engaged in other forms of getting your message out there.
Correct.
What have been some of these initiatives?
Yes. About 2 months ago, the DRP started a radio program, an interactive radio program on cross-country radio. It's every Tuesday morning from 6:35 early in the morning until about 8:55. There are a few breaks in between, but we roughly get about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And because it's interactive, we have the opportunity, unlike our TV program serving the people, we have the opportunity with this radio program, which is called The Moment of Hope, to interact with the people live, for them to ask us questions, make their comments, and certainly for me as a leader to give information and education about our plans, our ideas, our proposals for change and solutions to the varying problems that face us as a country. So that program has been fairly successful.
You've been getting a lot of feedback, people are calling in.
Yes, the feedback has been very encouraging, especially because it comes from a wide cross-section of persons, not just, let's say, persons who favor the DRP, but even persons who they will tell you openly on the program, well, I'm really ULP, for example, but I like your work and I want to encourage you, you know, or they may compare me with the parliamentary opposition party, for example, and what I'm doing. So I like the fact that I'm able to cross over and I get feedback from different persons, elderly people, younger persons, women, men. It's very encouraging to me, even the diaspora. So that's key, and it shows me the success already of the DRP, even before we came to them through that medium.
You're hoping, of course, in the next general election, which can be any time now, or by, you know, constitutionally due
December 2015.
December 2015.
Yes.
I understand that there's also, it can also go into first 3 months in 2016.
Correct, March 2016,
yes. So we know at least by March 2016 there'll be a general election. Is the DRP going to be ready with a full slate of 15 candidates?
We endeavor to be ready with a full slate of 15 candidates. We are working on it daily, monthly, you know, recruiting, screening persons, following up on suggestions and, you know, ideas. And it's very important to us to be able to field a team of candidates, because we want the people to see that this is a team. We can go forward as a team and we can actually run government. We have been privileged to have interest from former public servants, persons who have worked in government, persons who are still working in their various fields, and we also do we talk a lot with persons. So if there are persons who, for example, may not want to represent on the on a ticket, an election ticket, but
they want to work with the party.
Yes. So, for example,
so should you form government, they would want to come forward. And
yes, they would want to be. You know, that we have a lot of public servants still in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who, though they are retired, former public servants, they have a lot to offer, and they still have a lot of energy and things to give, and they're willing to sit with you and talk with you, tell you their ideas, what they think should be done, etc. And I think it's sort of like a group of elders, as it were, whom you can count on as well and take from, you know, and I have been talking to people like that as well, because I think it is very important.
So what are the policies of the DRP? What are the things that you are bringing that is the value proposition to the electorate? Why should they elect the DRP?
All right then. Well, the DRP, first of all, I always have to remind the populace that we believe in democratic Republican principles. And when I say democratic, yes, like all other parties here, we believe in the democratic process of electing governments, majority rules, but we emphasize that majority must rule in the interest of all, in the interest of the protection of the God-given or inalienable rights and freedoms of all. And that's what republicanism stands for in essence. That's the essence of republicanism, emphasizing inalienable rights and freedoms. And because of this, in a general sense, the people can expect the DRP to be a government that would represent the interests of all people, okay? Non-partisan in that sense. Assistance must go to those who need, and need must be the only qualification, not the color that you voted for in the last election or the fact that you didn't vote for our party. We are here for all of the people. And so the different areas, of course, that people are concerned about are the areas that concern us also. And when we had announced the party in August of 2012, it's actually almost 2 years, right? Time has really flown.
Yes.
These are some of the things I mentioned. I'll just read through a few of them for you, but there were about 10 points, policy areas, general points, not exhaustive. For example, the implementation of an agricultural policy to make SVG become a food basket in the Caribbean. Okay? Another one.
Notwithstanding, of course, our limited land size. When you compare that with Guyana, who is perhaps more naturally disposed to be in the food basket of the Caribbean. But
okay.
I see the intention.
But the intention, and also, I mean, again, it's not exhaustive, but one of the things we've done, for example, on our TV program and on our radio program is we have talked about something that no other party and government here is talking about when it comes to agriculture, and this is this whole issue of the genetically modified agenda, if I should call it that.
So what is your
really
view
impacting
on GMOs,
on the world?
Really? Yeah.
Well, the DRP believes that we need to take a position legislatively and otherwise to protect our agricultural environment, as well as to protect our own food security, and to be able to sell our food in markets like the EU and others who have taken serious positions, such as banning the use of GM seeds, such as legislating that you must label GM foods. If we say we're going to take full advantage of our international airport when it is completed and operational, and we want to export food, you have to realize the EU and other markets are now looking for organic markets. We have to get into that. And we also have to realize, not just for the sake of selling food and making money, but recognizing what has been proven about the impact of genetically engineered seeds on the very agricultural environment. We have to protect our own food security, or else we'll end up, if we're using those seeds, we end up with a situation where we can't even use some of our lands because they've been destroyed.
That's going to take us down another road. That's another topic altogether.
It's a part of the agricultural plan and policy. It is very important in going forward in agriculture, and you don't hear people talking about it much here in terms of government policy. But anything that we want to do in agriculture, whether it is cocoa, whatever we want to plant, etc., we have to take care of our seeds. We have to ensure that they are not corrupted and they are not going to be seeds which are going to contribute to diseases on our people, as well as cause us not to be able to compete in terms of selling to the markets that are equally concerned about this very issue that we seem to be closing our eyes on. So the DRP will definitely focus on that. And again, all our programs and explanations are on YouTube, Anesia Baptiste YouTube channel. You'll find them there. Another one, for example, the promotion of training in various sports to ensure that the athletes of SVG can compete to win gold medals in the Olympics.
But Anesia, it's not just about winning gold medals. It's about a healthy nation, really.
Correct.
It's about
but I'm also talking about sports and the way that it is used. And we have a lot of people who are interested in going further, but the opportunities do not exist to give them the relevant training and exposure that they would need to be able to compete like any other nation. This is an area of concern and interest for our people as well. The DRP recognizes it, and this is why we have at least a policy statement and position on it. So we will seek out the relevant assistance to give that kind of, to provide that kind of assistance to our people.
So you're looking at sports in a big way in terms of...
It is part of our
bringing people right up to the level if they want to compete at the international level.
Yes, I mean, I think the Commonwealth Games are going on currently, and I understand we had a swimmer who did very well.
She won her heat.
Precisely. And some people feel... Yes, Jo Kim. Congratulations to her and her family. Some people feel that, you know, the glory, so to speak, that they speak of when it comes to sports is still evading our athletes, you know, at that level. And there's a lot of discussion around plans that were in place to get us, for example, a stadium, etc., and it hasn't come to fruition. However, I do believe that we must not overlook this, because it's a part of, you know, pursuing happiness, the pursuit of happiness for some.
I'm fully on board with you with that.
And also their right to self-determination, and we should facilitate in terms of the environment what they would like to do as students, as young people, etc. Other areas include the training of people, of persons into various skills in education, science and technology to allow them to compete even with first world developed countries. I believe there's much more we can benefit from in our relationships with countries like Japan and Taiwan with respect to technology, and that, you know, we have a lot of sort of naturally skilled young persons when it comes to technology, and if they were given the opportunity to be trained into certain things, you know, whether it is
so you
game
want
design.
you want to harness that. You want to make
harness
sure
that, and I want us to look at those areas, because those are still areas in the world that are making money despite the financial downturn in the economy, generally speaking.
Right.
Yes.
I'm going to pull you up there because we're at the end of this first segment. When we come back, we'll quickly run through your policies.
Yes.
But I also want us to, there's so much politics of the day that's going on, and I wouldn't want to have this entire program without us touching on a lot of those issues. So we'll finish off your policies and we'll get into the politics of the day.
All right,
when we come back. This is Unrendered on IkTv. We're at the end of our first segment. When we come back, my guest will still be here. She is Anesia Baptiste, the leader of the Democratic Republican Party.